Alright, now, this right here is real talk. I'm here to talk to y'all about what's wrong with the world. And what's wrong with the world is, you know what I'm saying, we got, mainly what I'm here to talk to y'all about what's wrong with the world is the baby mamas, baby daddies, single mothers, single fathers, stuff like that. Now, the single father situation is not going on too often. But what you do see is the single mothers everywhere you go. Personally, I live in Oklahoma. So, you know what I'm saying, it's not very often that, you know what I'm saying, I'll walk up and down the street and see a family. But I walk into the mall, you know what I'm saying, I walk through the front door of the mall, and right there, coming out the mall, be a single mother. You know what I'm saying, I like 3 or 4 kids, or struggling through a situation. You know what I'm saying, what happened, either daddy's dead, in prison, or just left her for some other woman. You know what I'm saying? And that happens with so many, and this could be a white woman, you know what I'm saying? It'll happen with, it mostly happens with us black folks. Why? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like competition. Like pimps, it mainly started with pimps. It's like, if pimps did it, it's like, okay, the best way I can explain this with a pimp theory is like, if one pimp had like a bunch of fine females, it's like another pimp gotta come along and try to get as many as he can find and group his up, and then see which one got the baddest ones, and then see which one can pull in the most customers, and then, you know, see which one can pull another's, you know, the bottom one into the other one's group. And then that's when, you know, that's when all the women start fighting each other. But, you know what I'm saying, back to the subject at hand, you know what I'm saying, if you can apply that to everyday life, what that means is, basically, it's always been a competition. You know what I'm saying, dudes just go after female, and they just, you know, have kids with these females, and then don't even care about them afterwards. Some of them don't even care as much as to pay child support, or don't even care as much as to go see their kids. And that just ain't right, not just for the woman, but for the kid. And, you know, some of these kids are growing up not seeing their father, not, you know what I'm saying, not getting gifts from their father at Christmas, nothing like that. And, you know, with all these good women out here, without, you know, without good men, all the good men are disappearing, or all the good men are, you know what I'm saying, just being taken to the dark side, you know, walking over to the dark side. I'm one of the few good men that's left out there. And, you know, it's like, what does that leave the good men with if all the bad men are taking, if all the bad men are either taking the good men over to the dark side, or, you know, if they're taking all the good females, you know what I'm saying, good, you know what I'm saying, childrenless females, and just giving them children and then just leaving them. You know what I'm saying? Some of us want families too, but not by some other dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got a family, take care of that one, but then you're gonna make 3 other ones? I mean, that's not giving us much choice. It's like, you might as well, you know, you might as well just like let them live with you, and then, you know what I'm saying, take care of that little situation. But, you know what I'm saying, us good dudes, we can't afford to move from state to state looking for, you know what I'm saying, a fine female that fit our caliber. You know what I'm saying, just to, you know what I'm saying, and she might be taken, you know what I'm saying, the female that fit our caliber might be taken. And so that's not really helping our situation none if you go and take them all. So, I mean, that's what's wrong with the world relationship-wise, and that's what I mean by what's wrong with the world. There's plenty of stuff wrong with the world. I mean, there's world hunger. There's, you know, there's transsexuals and gays and bis and stuff everywhere, even amongst hip-hop. But that's not the problem. That's like way off of what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is what's wrong with, you know, the single mothers and stuff like that. You know, that's what I'm worried about. Because I even got some of my family that will remain nameless at the time. But you know, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, cause you know, you got some of y'all out there might have nieces and nephews that y'all are having to take care of, and you know what I'm saying, it ain't y'all's responsibility. They're whoever had them's responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're not forced. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They didn't ask to be there. You didn't ask for them to be there. Now, yeah, you may have been like, yeah, when you having kids? When you having kids? You know, it's like, but you didn't ask for them to have kids, so they can stay with you. You ask when they having kids, so you can have a little niece or nephew or grandchild to play with. You know what I'm saying? That's what your purpose in that was asking for, or you know what I'm saying, something like that, whatever. But still, that's the kind of situation that I'm seeing and I'm having to go through. And you know, like me being an uncle, you know what I'm saying, I'm having to see and go through that. Because those kids, I mean, I love them to death, but they ain't my responsibility personally. So it's like, if I have to go through that, you know, it's like, I may as well have been their father. Not to speak ill of them, but let's push that aside. You know, my point is, if you're gonna have kids, be there for them. You know, actually be in their lives. Don't just, you know, be there at one point, then, you know, leave for, you know, an extended point of time, and then come see him every now and then leave again, and then come see him for a few hours, leave again, and, you know, keep that going in a continuous block, and then when you finally come back for the last time, then that's when you stay around, and then decide you want to go off again later. You don't do that. You come and you stay. And I mean, especially if you're gonna have some kids, like actually more than one. You know what I'm saying? And they're not too far apart in age and stuff. You know, that's not something you do. You have your kids, you take care of them, you make sure they grow up, and you give them a good life. You don't let your kids ask, where's my daddy? When is my daddy coming home? You know, you make sure you give your kids your undivided attention whenever you can. If they call you at work and, you know, they miss you, take time out of your busy schedule. Let them know that you care. You know, and, you know, the single mothers out there having to be a father, keep your head up. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You doing that well. I mean, it may not be as easy. It may not be easy trying to be a father and a mother. I know it's not, because you're a single mother. Hence the term. You know what I mean? So, being the fact that you're having to be a single mother, I mean, I know that's hard. I mean, I'm an uncle. I'm a single man. And being, you know what I'm saying, being that, with that in place, you know what I mean, I'm an uncle of 3. You know what I'm saying? So that's another hard thing. It's like, 1 is bad enough, but when you got 3, it's like, what did I just get into? I mean, even though they're not my kids personally, but, you know, when you look, you know what I'm saying, it's like you can't turn your back on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're your family, they're in your life, they're in your world. It's like, and they didn't ask to be there. Technically, neither did you, but your parents had to raise you. And that's the point that I'm sending to all you fathers out there that ain't got your act together. I'm not a father yet. Actually, I'm not. I'm nowhere near being a father. But still, that's what y'all gotta learn. You gotta learn to grow up, get off the games, and by the games, I don't mean video games. I mean life games. Get off these life games, and you know what I'm saying. Get on your grown man. You know what I'm saying. Do what needs to be done as a man. And if you don't believe what I'm talking about, watch the Maury Show. Watch how many females get pregnant off of one dude and end up being the father of all these kids. And for y'all females too, I got something for y'all too. Don't think I'm just attacking the dudes and thinking I'm making myself look like the most perfect dude. Which I'm not saying I'm flawless. That I do have some flaws in some areas, but not, I'm not completely, I'm not full of flaws, but I'm not flawless. Nobody's flawless at all. I don't care who you are, nobody's flawless. But anyway, for you females, stop playing mind games with these dudes, because when you do that, it's only gonna trap them, and it's only gonna make you seem like the idiot. And what I mean by that is, like, when you tell a dude that you want to have a baby with him, and it turns out later that you never did want to have a baby in the first place, like you just said that just because you were drunk or you were high, or it just was something you had in a conversation, and you just brought it up as a joke. He may not have been joking, he may have been dead serious about it. And so y'all ended up having sex, and he got you pregnant, and he was like, y'all find out a couple days later, you're like, why am I pregnant? Well, he got you pregnant because he took you seriously and you didn't. So, what I'm saying, y'all need to be careful of that too. And so, and it's partially, sometimes it's y'all dudes' fault because y'all don't use protection, but he took it seriously and you didn't. So, and there's other things too, what I'm saying, when y'all females run loose in the streets, and this goes for all females, not just ones here where I live, but all females. You know what I'm saying? That's how you end up on a morning show. You gotta watch the dude that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? That can end up having 11, 12 kids. Is that, and the fact that you know what I'm saying, you gotta stop. Like I said, stop running so loose. You know what I'm saying? And you won't end up with saying 2 or 3 kids by, and you won't know, who the father is of your 2 or 3 kids or more. So you just gotta be careful. I mean, I know it's hard nowadays because everybody's just doing everything. But it's a lot simpler than you think. You can either stay in the house or stay out of the clubs or go anywhere else. And yes, females, I know y'all gotta look at women. I know y'all gotta look y'all's best wherever y'all go. Dudes, I know you gotta swag out wherever you go. Yeah, that's understandable, real understandable. But you know what I'm saying, you gotta, you gotta either get a girlfriend and stay away from these other females, or just, I ain't gonna say, like, no homo. I ain't gonna say turn gay. That's the last thing I'd advise you to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I brought that up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I advise you to just get a girlfriend and, like, just don't look back. You know what I'm saying? Get married to a female and don't look back. Because, what I'm saying, temptation is always out there, and it's gonna catch you sooner or later. Like, I've always been tempted, but, what I'm saying, I've never cheated before. Early in this video, I did say I'm single. But see, I've been cheated on before. You know what I'm saying? I've been cheated on, but, you know what I'm saying, I dropped her, so after that, you know what I'm saying, I've pretty much been single ever since. So, like, I know that sounds like somewhat of a sob story. It's a long story. So, anyway, the point is, there's too many single mothers, and the number continues to grow, especially among us black folks. You know what I'm saying? It needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? It stops with one person speaking up. If one person can speak up against the topic, then, you know what I'm saying, maybe we can save I ain't gonna say we can save the world, but, you know what I'm saying, maybe we can save the population of this, you know what I'm saying, of this number growing about this particular subject. So, you know what I'm saying, slow down on what you're doing before you end up making the biggest mistake of your life and then having to pay the biggest price. Because if you ain't got the money for it, then you can't really cover it. Matter of fact, I got a family